What's up, YouTube? Today I got some 88s, 9 of them to be exact. I ended up snagging another one of these Ironwoods. Then, just because I could, I wanted to see all the grain. I picked up a Yeti that is a store. It's got a crack. Got one of these so far, the Gator Green Jigged Bone, and two of these. The spades, I've seen a couple for sale. I'm using this one. You can see the polish is worn off a little bit. You can see the pivot right there. These are very much beloved. I've seen some people be like, I don't know, like the Yeti Bone seems to be the least favorite of the bunch. I don't know about that. The metrics of my YouTube videos show there is an insane amount of curiosity about these pieces. These videos didn't do so great. This one's doing all right. I don't know if you can see, but there is some very real grain structure in this. It looks like the desert floor sometimes, almost, after it's been like water, or the water boards from wind. This has a much finer grain structure. I don't know if it's going to come up at all. I can see this on my phone. I don't know if this one's going to come up. It does have a very fine grain structure. You might not be able to see it though. And then this one is just flat white. So I think that for the Yeti, there's going to be a lot of variation between the two. I liked, obviously, I think the more grain structure, better in almost all things. But I especially like this one. It looks very neat. This one's a little bit more fine. And as far as the Arizona Ironwood, I have no idea what one was originally on the channel. But as you can see, they are all winners, at least in my book. So I mean, that's 3 is not an insignificant sample size considering how many were produced. And we're also, so you guys have seen that. This has been on the channel. Let's see if there's a proud tip even among the bunch here. Nope. Nope. Doing this as fast as I can. Nope. 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 All right, guys. So out of 9 of them, the 9 that I have, there are no proud tips. Not a single one. I will say I got all of these from drops, mostly, to be honest. This one I got off of, it was sitting. Well, it's kind of a slow drop. No reservations, and in fact, I tried to reserve with 2 dealers for these. The Ironwood, I didn't hear back from any of them, which is kind of troubling considering, I mean, I know that for one of the dealers, I was like, yeah, he had just started making the quote-unquote request list. But that kind of does, at least for me, really does lend credence to the idea that if you are new to GEC, you are going to have a really hard time reserving things that end up being insanely popular, because there's going to be, good old boys in front of you on the line. And I definitely get that, but at the same time, I think that doesn't really speak well to how the brand is being handled by the brand ambassadors and the distributors. And it does hurt GEC as a brand. And I realize that a lot of people, I don't know, honestly, at this point, I don't know if people would disagree with me. If you're disagreeing with me on this point, I think that you might not really understand what's going on, which is fine. But, the bottom line is that you can't really have your cake and eat it like that. Rolex does a much better job of meeting the demand, and it also has a lot of options to choose from. Not only that, you can find, Rolex has been around for a long time, and back in the day, they weren't a luxury watch; they were just a regular watch. This is Renwax, by the way. They were just a regular watch company that made one of the only functioning reliable wristwatches. So you would see them commonly on, like Che Guevara or a Rolex. Castro wore a Rolex. Famously, 2 or 3 when he was over in Soviet Russia flexing. Also, is kind of like for the time zones and stuff. He running an entire nation from afar is probably not easy, but I never personally met the man, nor have I really read much about him. I know that a lot of Americans cry because they've really just succumbed to like CIA disinformation. I realize that, it is what it is, but if you're going to believe everything that this nation tells you, then you're kind of a dummy. I hate to sound Trumpian, 'cause I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but that is what it is, man. Anyway, wherever I was at, I was talking about brand stuff. It's kind of like with affliction. People that don't like, if you go to a bar, go anywhere, ask people, do you like affliction? What do you think about people that wear affliction? Oh, isn't that for like the UFC wannabe crowd that are like always getting fucking hammered and starting fights in the bar and being ridiculous in general? That's going to be a common thing that you hear. And, there's a reason I don't wear any affliction clothing. I don't like it. Why do I not like it? Well, first of all, I think it's weird that you would name anything affliction. But also, it is. I mean, I'm repelled by the people that wear it. Cold Steel gets a real bad rap for like the Mall Ninja crowd liking their stuff. I don't really have an issue with Cold Steel. It's just not really for me. I don't really like things that are just replicas of better designs that, you're just having people make it overseas who aren't getting paid a living wage, who don't have any benefits, and nothing happens when they lose a hand to something in the factory. That is just not for me. So, I mean, look, I'm not a brand expert. I do work in marketing, though, and right now make a decent amount of money, which is how I can afford 9 of these knives. And in some places, much more than a decent amount. And I'm very cognizant and thankful of that, especially being, a Marxist-Leninist. But, I mean, ideologically a Leninist. I'm not a Marxist-Leninist. But anyway, I'm talking about politics. I'm a Marxist who is a Leninist. It is what it is, right? Like, these are very expensive pieces. And that's something that people now associate with the brand. They're impossible to get. That's something people associate with the brand. There's a lot of funny business going on in the secondary market. People that run, I'm not speaking of Great Eastern Cutlery Club, but there are people that run some of the knife forums that totally abuse their positions and will like pin weird things to the top, like when they want to sell knives or they want donations for whatever. It's just unscrupulous and uncouth. I don't like that. I try to be very upright in any financial dealings. I feel like that's not a good thing to fuck around with. You know what I mean? If you're a Christian, you 100% have to agree with me because that's what the Bible says. I would also say if I looked in the Quran, that's what it says. That you should not be abusing your positions of power to get one over on somebody. You shouldn't be pretending like you really want to collect a knife so you can turn around and flip it. And if you're an atheist, if you do those things, you're a bad faith actor. That's logic. That's like rationality. That's not my opinion. I would say that's like where if I was going to build a logical proof, I could grab a whiteboard and, an erase marker and actually pin out to you using rationality. Hey, this is actually what it is to be bad faith. And when you're kind of fucking people over, that's not good. I'm not saying a man can't sell his own knives for what they want. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. I am not going to pat you on the head and say, "Good job, little Johnny. You're a captain of science and industry." The way you take advantage of people, that's just not really cool for me. I don't like that. But all these with my own money, and if I sell them, I'll sell them for whatever I feel like, but I will let my principles be my guide. And some people we're just finding out do not have principles. And you know what? That's fine. You don't have to have principles, but I would describe you then as a reactionary, which is basically a political slur. If you're a person like me, and if you're not, it still is. It doesn't sound real great, does it? I mean, if you look at what a reactionary is, it doesn't paint a positive picture. A principled person, people who makes ideas and take stands that are principled, is going to be much better off as a person, and much better person. I guarantee it. Right wingers, super far right people that jump the mind, that stick to their beliefs and make principled stands. Sometimes, like Sargon of Akkad, when he took, listen, I'm not a fan of him, but like he took that one woman to court who was abusing the copyright system, and basically got 54, I don't know, more than that, probably more than that, thousands of dollars, because she had in bad faith brought this frivolous copyright claim. He had commented on some left-wing lunacy she had spouted. Well, not left-wing, liberal. Liberalism is made up by both the liberals, obviously, and also the conservatives, because they're actually the same party. And right now, liberalism runs our government, whether you like it or not. And I'm not, this is from political theory. This is not from, like a meme. You got to go read the books, right? Like, it is what it is. I like to read. But yeah, man, I'm not, it's all good in the hood. I'm not tripping about people selling things or doing unscrupulous things. I'm just not going to do them myself, and I will not participate in such things. I'm not saying I'm too good to be in such and such knife group. I'm just saying, I'm seeing some things that are not really that great. Other people see them. I've spoken to other people, long time GEC fans, people have been collecting since the very beginning. And I've been collecting knives for, a very long time. Got into GECs, I think now it's like a couple years ago. Maybe more than that, maybe a few. Time has flown since the pandemic. But it is what it is, man. And, I'm a collector. These probably won't come out of my collection for probably many years, and it's I'm blessed financially at this very moment. I don't know how long that will last, but I know that I'll have the same principles with or without the money. And yeah, I mean, if you don't want to hear that, get the fuck out of here. Don't follow me. Feel free to unfollow, unsubscribe. Don't patronize my eBay, and don't hit me up. Don't be my buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. I don't like that. It's like kind of like racism to me. It's unethical. It's immoral. And I'm not going to go out of my, if someone were to say something, I'm not going to, say something racist under their breath. I'm not going to, beat their head into the ground or something. I'm just going to make a mental note, like, yo, this guy's kind of fucked up. Like, he is racist and actually thinks, these things that I am very much against. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Everyone that watches this needs to do those things. And because I need to make up for the people that are unsubscribing right now, because I just told them to. So only you can increase my subscriber count, okay? And I need it. I actually don't need it, but you should subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. And if you're like a shithead, I really don't want you watching and commenting. And it has nothing to do with race, creed, color, nationality, anything like that. It has to do with inside of you, okay? Anyway, bye-bye now. Have a good day, and that's all she wrote for this one.